I've started a little series on applicable drum fills. So, drum fills that will never get you fired from a gig or in a studio session. We, as drummers, professional, and just as players that like to play on the weekend or just in our room by ourselves, we need to have fills we can go to that are good transition places. And it's not embarrassing to say I have these. Every professional has a bag of tricks that they can pull out and they feel is safe. Whenever they're doing their first run through a song, they can use these and later they can kind of use to create. So this is one of those. It's called Bucket of Fish. Now, before we get there, I have to introduce the newest member of the Drum Shed, and that would be this Byzance 20-inch vintage Crash Sand series. It's awesome. That leads me to the question of the lesson, which would be, what is your favorite crash cymbal right now? Put it in the comment section below. Let's start a discussion. I want to hear about some different crash cymbals, the favorite lines that you have, and the different sizes that you guys like. All right, let's get to this Bucket of Fish lesson. Every drummer that knows anything that goes to university, goes to school, this is one of the fills that they're taught. It's called Bucket of Fish. Why do we call it Bucket of Fish? Because that's what it sounds like, Bucket of Fish. That's what it sounds like. And this is the fill in its simplest form. So we have sextuplets. Sextuplets are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what you're going to do is use the first 3 sextuplets, and that's going to be bucket of, and then the fish is going to be the 8th note on the end of it. So bucket of fish. Now, there's 3 or 4 different ways that you'll commonly see this one used. I'll go ahead and demonstrate all those ways. So the first way would be bucket of kick drum is fish. The second way is going to be where the fish is actually on the floor tom. So bucket of fish. The third way is fish is going to be on the snare drum. Those are the 3 most common ways that I see it used. Now I'm going to play a groove, and I'll play this fill in that groove and kind of transition to the next scene so you can see how these are used. I'll go in that order. I'll go with the floor tom being fish, or go with the bass drum being fish, then I'll go with the floor tom being fish, and then I'll go with the snare being fish. Bucket of stays the same every time. Simple and effective. Stick it in your bag. You will use this one from here on out. Now, do you have to do it on those drums? No, sure, you can do it like this. We can move that around, but those are the most common ways that I see it used. You don't just have to use this in a pop setting or a rock setting. You can also use this in a jazz setting. This is actually where I first learned this one because it's a good, what we call a bass drum drop. So do goom ba do ba do ja ba da ba da ba da ba ba da goom ba do boom. So it's one of those standard setups where when you're sight reading a chart, you can actually go ooh ba da ba goom ba. You know that last 1 beat or 2 beats or however quick you're doing, because if you're doing it at a quick tempo and swing, these bucket of would turn into triplets and fish would be a quarter note or an 8th note depending. So let me demonstrate that. So simple, so effective. Take it and use it, please. Again, this wasn't meant to blow your mind. It's meant to be an applicable drum fill. It's called Bucket of Fish. Learn it, yo. If you're interested, go to the website. We've got downloadable lessons there. Sign up for this free 7-day trial of the live lessons that's still going on, guys. Take advantage of it. Search your way through it. I've added student tracks this week, so we've got a rudiment track going up this week that walks you step by step the rudiment lessons on the website and gives you a place to test out, so a BPM that you can test out of. So I'm really working on making this website as self-sustaining as possible so that you can get on there, learn it, have a place where you can go, okay, I'm proficient at this, and either upload it so I can see it or just self-test yourself and then move on to the next topic. That's this goal for this year, is to really make that a real learning environment, very much like a drum school. So there's over 400 video lessons already on there. So now it's just a matter of rearranging those in a way that you guys can process it. Hopefully this has helped. Again, this is just part 2 in the applicable drum fills. We'll see you next time.